I collected some of the headlines that you wrote about in the intro of your book, so I'm going to read through them for the audience. But again, it's a really grim picture, and this is kind of in the context that Trudeau was supposed to rescue Canada's reputation. In the early days, it really was like, I remember the Rolling Stone had a cover of Justin Trudeau, like, dreamy, why can't he be our prime minister, or our president? And this idea was that he was like the last best hope for liberalism, and he was like the great progressive leader that was left standing. And yet that all kind of like tumbled apart under his tenure. So you started with the example of when the UK was debating euthanasia in that country, the MPs were using Canada as the country that they didn't want to be like, because everyone agreed that Canada's euthanasia laws had gone too far. The Telegraph declared that Vancouver was the fentanyl capital of the world. The Times rebranded Canada as the world capital of assisted dying. The BBC pegged Canada as the car theft capital of the world. You go on to talk about Trudeau's online harms bill. Sky News Australia said this: Canada considers life sentences for offending someone based off of sex, age, or race. A Canadian Cancer Society inspired headlines from as far away as India when it apologized for using the term cervix in its literature about cervical cancer. And then they provided alternative words that you could use. It says you may prefer other words such as front hole. Oh my goodness. Just a few more here. Apparently in the 2023 Women's Canadian Powerlifting Union competition, you write that a bearded competitor showed up, utterly shattered the record for women's bench press, and then went right back to identifying as a man after the results were logged. And the New York Post described it this way: man enters powerlifting competition as woman, breaks record. And you say that the record still stands. A couple with regards to euthanasia here. Wall Street Journal said, welcome to Canada, the doctor will kill you now. He Spiked Online said, now Canada is euthanizing autistic people. Canada moves one step closer to euthanizing children, according to the Daily Mail. The Jacobin says that the Canadian state is euthanizing its poor and disabled. And this one is probably the most shocking to me, just because it shows what Canadian people might believe. It says more than a quarter of Canadians think that homelessness and poverty are reasons for assisted suicide. That was a Fox News headline. So you really paint kind of an embarrassing picture here of our country, that like Canada has become the global example of woke policies gone way too far, run amok, and there's no one really stopping them.